Hello, my name is Kurt, and today I will be talking about Kratom, the uses of Kratom, the side effects of Kratom, my experiences with Kratom, the different various strains of Kratom, and so forth and so on. Now, Kratom is sort of an opiate. It acts like an opiate, nowhere near as potent as um, conventional opiates by any means, nowhere near Percocet or hydrocodone or codeine or any of those, but it does function as an opiate. If you take enough of it, you will nod pretty intensely, no matter what strain you take. It could be the red strains, it could be the green strains, and so forth and so on. Now, getting into this, the side effects of kratom are typical of side effects of sort of any opiate. Itchy. You get very itchy, so you scratch everywhere all the time. Mainly the nose. You get the nose itches. That's when you know it's hitting you. But you know, an itchy crotch is to be expected. So if you're out in the public and you get those um, kratom itches, just make sure you do it sort of away from people's eyes and just start scratching your balls over. Now I'm on kratom now, and another thing you could notice is the raspiness of your voice is definitely increased, and um, you know Cobain's use of opiates contributed to his raspy, sort of froggy voice. It sounds like you have sort of like a frog stuck in your throat or something like that, and it's just like it's a very gravelly sort of sound, so that's how you can know. That's one of the side effects as well, but I mean, it's not super noticeable unless people know what to look for. If people are legitimately looking for sort of opioid side effects. Now, I've tried all the strains pretty much: red, green, white, etc. And my favorite has to be Meng Da. I don't have it on me right now. I'm on green Borneo or something like that right now. And see, the green strains, in the beginning duration of the experience, you notice a little bit of more upliftment. Creativity increase, the motivation increases. You want to do things or whatever. But I feel it's very sort of not necessarily short-lived, but especially with Meng Da, I feel that there's a very euphoric sort of stimulant aspect in the beginning. It feels like you're sort of coming up on uh, Molly, MDMA, so forth and so on. It feels like very like stimulating, and yes, I'm feeling really good, and it feels euphoric. It feels very blissful and pleasurable. But the thing is uh, with the Meng Da strain is that the euphoria is very fleeting. It only lasts for about 5 minutes, so you feel like an MDMA sort of come up for like 5 minutes, and you're anticipating this sort of grand experience, but then it just slowly fades into, well, I don't want to say slowly, but rapidly after that peak of 5 minutes of euphoria, it just sort of uh, drops into this sedating opiate aspect. And that's very euphoric to a lot of people as well, but I enjoy more of a stimulating euphoria. But the the sort of sedating, sort of laid back, sort of nodding out euphoria is pretty good too, but it's not really like I said, like the first couple of times I took Meng Da and stuff like that, it's like I expect like, oh man, this is gonna be really awesome, but then it just, you start nodding out and stuff, and then you're like, oh, this isn't too bad or whatever, but I was expecting more of a stimulant effect, you know what I mean? But in the end, it's kratom, so no matter what strain you take, watch your doses, and you definitely do get urges to redose, and they're like ridiculous urges. Like, I just dosed a couple of times, and then you get the urge to redose, but don't. Like, most of the time, don't. Like, you have to really know yourself and know your tolerance, and don't listen to those urges to redose, because Like right at the moment, like I'm at like a very just chill level. If I redosed again, I have a strong dose to redose. If I redosed again, it would push me over the threshold, and I would be like, I'm sort of a little bit nodding out, like not necessarily nodding out, but like drifting into unconsciousness or whatever. But if I, like I said, if I redosed, it would have been gone. I would have been laying like on the floor or whatever, just fantasizing about running through fields with women with flowers in their hair and infinite supply of cigars. By the way, as any opiate, it increases your desire for um, tobacco products. You really feel an urge to just delve into that. Much like alcohol, when you're drunk, you also get those urges, but with kratom, it's a different type of feeling. It's like it intensifies the buzz. Tobacco works synergistically with kratom. Another side effect I forgot to mention is that you get a very dry mouth. Um, is this sort of cotton mouth, and you gotta drink a lot of water, but it doesn't matter how much water you drink because the cotton mouth is kind of gonna last throughout the duration of the experience anyway. But that's to be expected with any opiate, whether if you're hospitalized and they give you morphine or whatever, it's the same thing. Just dry mouth and stuff. Oh, red strains are more sedating and for pain relief. Green strains are stimulating, but they're still kratom, so they're stimulating in the beginning, but then they just fade into the regular kratom experience. And the white vein is supposed to be stimulating sort of as well. But I think the green vein is a mixture of properties of the red vein and the white vein or something like that. I don't necessarily know, but I've tried all of them, and like I said, Mengda is my favorite, or the green strains. White strains don't really, they're subpar for me. Red strains are good if you just want to kind of knock the hell out, you know what I mean? So, what else? Yeah, watch your dosing, because when you when you take too much of this stuff, you're gonna projectile vomit. Like, it's inevitable. As with most opiates, it's just this massive waves of nausea and then just projectile vomit everywhere. And then you feel a little bit better after vomiting, but then there's still that nausea and you can't eat and all that stuff. So it ruins the experience. The whole nausea and the vomiting ruins the experience. So keep it at like I said, take it slow in the beginning, then like find the threshold of your tolerance and then just keep it there. And it'll give you a good experience every time. Um, so yeah, I guess that's about it. I'm losing my train of thought. Um, do I recommend it? Yeah, I mean, it's a great thing if you're an anxious person or if you have any sort of. The red vein is sort of good for sleeping troubles. Like, it'll knock you the hell out. Like, the best sleep I've ever gotten was after a kratom, like, sort of experience. You just close your eyes and knock out, and then you wake up from this, like, massive deep sleep, and you're like, what the hell was that? You know? So, yeah. If you got any questions, comments, whatever, drop them down below. I'll try to respond. And try to answer and help you with my experiences of kratom and sort of strain recommendations and whatnot. Take it easy.